right, good morning, my people. This is Opani Gandondo once more again coming to your screens with the development of what is happening with the EFF political party. So this is the exit strategy episode number 5. And thank you for following us and thank you for following this series of unmasking the EFF exodus. Why are they leaving? Why are they leaving the EFF? There's a lot that people are actually trying to figure out, coming up with concepts, trying to figure out what is really happening to the EFF. But then again, I am here for that, just to cover this and also put you in the stars, kind of like making you aware of what is happening. So I'm going to bring you the developments now. But before we do all of that, let us look at the formation and the expansion of the EFF, because EFF is not just any other political party. As much as people would say, okay, wara, EFF is just any other political, not really, because okay. Let's rewind. Let's take it back. Allow me to say good morning, right? So today we are diving into the fascinating origins and evolutions of South African economic freedom fighters, known widely as the EFF. A decade ago, guys, if you remember, the EFF entered the South African political sphere, introducing itself as the radical leftist movement, right? With strong anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist foundation. And in just a few years, this party aimed itself a position in the higher ranks of politics in South Africa. And it was led by the dynamic Julius Malema, who rapidly gained traction and now holds its place as the third largest political party in South Africa, if not the fourth now, since the MKP came to play. But that's a story for another day. So we should also know that the EFF is not just any party, because it goes far beyond South Africa with branches in Africa. Yes, branches in Africa. What do you mean? I mean, there are other EFFs in other countries in this continent. So we unpack this expansion and explore some recent events that have sparked both excitement and controversy within the party. I told you, EFF is something else. It's not anything to play about or play with. You just have to know that EFF is not a child's play. This is a political party that is well structured, and as it comes into this political sphere, right, of South Africa, it didn't just focus on South Africa, but it focused on the continent at large. Remember, it also tried to promote the idea of Pan-Africanism, right? Of which that is one of the foundation that ANC was built up upon. If there was no ANC, we wouldn't be talking politics today in South Africa, right? So we have to bring in ANC, because also, if we are talking EFF, we must know that ANC was there in order for the EFF to be formed. So yes, yeah, we are going to talk about the EFF and the relation and how it was formed and how it expanded into the other countries in the continent. So yeah, man, as the EFF reaches goes far beyond South Africa with branches across Africa, we're gonna look into that, and also we have to be talking about what is happening inside the EFF itself, and also we'll be talking about a lot. Do you understand? We'll be talking about a lot today. So let us start with the background of the EFF. Okay. So this is how the EFF was actually formed back in the day. If you want to know, let's just look into the background of it, right? With the help of the CIC of the party. So it was founded in 2013. Obviously, Malema was the one who founded it, and the EFF emerged as a split from the African National Congress. And then it was a split from the African National Congress. Malema was the former president of ANC Youth League, launched the EFF. Okay, after he launched the EFF, he pushed for land redistribution, economic equality, and nationalization. Right. So after he pushed for all these things, he then earned an attraction from his powerful rhetoric. So this huge following he earned, especially among the frustrated young Africans who were frustrated by inequality. Obviously, these people, their ethnicity is going to be the blacks, right? Let's be clear about that. So in 2014 elections, EFF did very well, and for a young party like that, it got more than 6%. And then the next elections in 2019, it got kind of like 10 over 10%, which is equivalent to 11%. All right. So as the ANC got this attraction because of Julius Malema, right? You must know that. But we must also know who is Julius Malema. What is the backbone of Julius Malema? What is the foundation of Julius Malema? The foundation of Julius Malema is obviously in the ANC back in the day when the ANC was a liberal party. I don't know what ANC is now, but ANC was fighting for the rights of the marginalized, the masses. It was fighting for equality, you understand? Equal rights, of which when um, Mandela came to play, and then that's what confuses a lot of Africans and South Africans is that Mandela really carried out the idea of equality, the idea of inclusion, because that's what the the ANC stands for. It stands for South Africa is for those who live in it, right? That's what it stands for. So now people thought it is going to be Pan Africanism, which says Africa is for Africans. You understand? But that is not the ANC policy. That's not the policies of the ANC. Yes, the ANC may promise the masses, may promise the previously oppressed people that it will revive and get back all what they lost. But it is not saying it will then uh, what be racist, or it will violate the constitution which says which protects property rights, that has property rights, of which that also protects the previously advantaged groups, right, that the apartheid benefited. So the radical, there's a if you go to EFFonline.org, you'll find that in one of the newsletters where it says the radical voice for the poor and the working class, right? Malema has made written an article, I don't know, on the first of, let me show you this. He wrote an article on the first, right, of September. I think it's during the time when Shivambu left or something like that, or before, or when there were rumors that EFF is losing its ideology. and its principles for connections and right. We are going to go past that, but I want us to look into who is Malema and how he thinks, right? But yeah, it's clear, it's in the public. This is publicized, it's there in their site, it's not hidden. Malema here is trying to actually not change or what he stands for. If we take a look at this, so here the article says resisting infiltration and becoming an organ of compromise. So he's trying to resist that, of which, ironically so, right? Ironically so, as he's saying, he is resisting infiltration, right? And becoming an organ of compromise. He wrote this concerning the talks of GNU. Why didn't they join the GNU and stuff like that? Emphasizing the fact that they wouldn't do that, such a thing. Why? Because remember, when they broke out of the ANC, right? When they broke off the ANC, which was called South African Native National Congress, the SANC, which was formed in 1909 and later became ANC in 1923, all right? The Native National Congress, or South African Native National Congress, was actually formed to fight for people's rights, more especially the natives, as you can hear the word that they used there. So it was to fight for the return of the land. However, it evolved into a vehicle that advocated for land rights only for a select few privileged individuals. So this deviation is the one that caused Malema, or that's the one that actually paved the way for EFF. Now, and then now later on, a few years down the line, the ANC really shows that by joining the GNU, which was also formulated back in the day in 1990, right? So this was developed in 1990. That was the born of a compromise. When the ANC was compromising with the colonial settlers. And then they formed the GNU. Now, ANC and the DA party, which is led by Zille, now comes together. They form what is called a coalition, and they call it GNU. Now the EFF is like, we're not going to be part of that. As he's saying that we're not be part of that, because it feels like this was going to cause a lot of division inside the EFF itself. He says it would be the death of EFF. Let me show you this. Here he says, it would be the death of EFF to continue advocating aggressively for a leftist. It would be the death of EFF to continue advocating aggressively for a leftist, anti-capitalist, and anti-racist and socialist movement while co-governing with the descendants of our colonizers over the lives of millions and of landless African people who continue to fight for crumbs while a majority few continue to live in opulence. So that's what he says. That's what he is avoiding. He doesn't want to see that happen. Doesn't want to be part of that, right? So later on, he was saying if they did that, that would be institutional infiltration that would suffer or would have led to an in unimaginable compromise. It would have successfully compromised the only movement that has vowed to contest political power. Guys, let's move to the next segment. So this is the backbone. This is the backbone of Malema, right? So yeah, we know that. We know that about Malema, all right? So that's how it was formed upon those principles. We don't want to back down. We don't want to join. We don't want. They say we don't want to be part of the colonizers or the, the offspring of the colonizers. It said that these people are white people and they're living in South Africa. They are called South Africans, whereby again the leftists or the left politically should be advocating for equality and harmony. So and democracy, obviously. But then again, the ideology that EFF is carrying is really putting it in a very difficult position because, as a South African political party, it also needs to embrace inclusion, right? But also, as an African party, it needs to fight for a certain ethnicity, which is the previously disadvantaged and the currently marginalized groups of Black people, the poor, right? The masses, the majority. So they are kind of like we are the voice of the majority that is being oppressed by the neo-colonial system. Okay. And now I would like for us to actually go further and look at how is the EFF the voice of the previously oppressed Africans. All right. Because that's what EFF stands for. EFF stands for Africans, right? It's not standing for South Africans only, but the whole continent. It is advocating for the whole continent. Now we are going to move to and see that. Okay. That's what we need to see now. We need to see Uguri in which parts, as we talked about the branches that it has in the African continent. So we want to see which parts of Africa does EF have branches in. So in Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and even in Eswatini, hey, Eswatini and Liberia, guys. Eswatini and Liberia, there is EFF. You want to see this? Let me show you. The movement now has branches in countries including Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and even smaller representations in Eswatini and Liberia. I don't know if you see this. This is EFF, guys. You don't play with EFF. This is a big, as I'm telling you, political party. It's not just here in South Africa. It's almost everywhere. Do you understand? They are branches. Hey guys, they are branches of the. Have you ever heard of branches of the ANC? Even though it is called African National Congress, but it doesn't have any branches in Africa. Wow, that's amazing, right? That's really amazing, guys. So I want to show you some of the Zimbabwe branch. All right. Let me show you the Zimbabwe branch. And then after we see the Zimbabwe branch, we'll show you other branch. The one in Zimbabwe is called EFF Zimbabwe, right? And there's another one called in Botswana is BEF. And what else? Hey guys, you think I'm kidding? There we go. Political freedom in Zimbabwe, bro. Political freedom without economic freedom in our lifetime is meaningless. Forward with borderless Africa. There it is. Hey, these guys, they don't see this. This is called, you want to see it? Let me show you. Zimbabwe Economic Freedom Fighters. Here, they have their own EFFZimbabwe.com. Their own site, guys. There it is. You see it? Yeah, nice. I like that. It's amazing. EFF is not here to play, guys. EFF is not here to play. EFF is here to unite the whole continent. Do you understand? All right. Yeah, there are people talking here. I want some speeches. I don't know if you're gonna get this. Economic freedom in our lifetime, economic corruption, employment, and accountability. I don't know when it says like corruption. What does it mean by corruption? There, what is Zimbabwe? What EFF Zimbabwe stand for? Rural development, economy, education, and employment. All right. Yes, there is Shivambo there when he was still part of the EFF. All right. So, hey guys, we are all saying that EFF is not just a small party in South Africa. This is a real party in the whole continent. So let's check it out. Botswana Economic Freedom Fighters. I looked for this the whole time. I never saw it, guys. I didn't find it. So I don't know. But I didn't find like anything that talks about Botswana and EFF. But they are claiming that there's a branch in Botswana as well. But also, it says here they also have Namibia, which is called NEF. I think I saw that one. NEF it exists. Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters. NEF. That one exists. Guys, EFF is not a child's play. EFF is not a small party. Do you understand? It's like you guys don't understand. EFF is not a small party. I'm gonna show you now. Let me show. Let me. Here we go. The red team, NEF. The leadership of the Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters. We are at exit strategy and mask the EFF exodus. What's happening with the EFF? Why are these people walking away from the EFF? Whereas the EFF seemingly is the biggest party in Africa, not just South Africa, but Africa at large. Let us dig deeper. Let us dig in deeper in finding out more about EFF in Africa. Also, they say Swatini, there's a small representation of EFF. So we're also going to say I don't think we're going to see anything that has to do with that. I love the one that the Zimbabwe. I've seen the Zimbabwe's, the Zimbabwean one. I've seen that one, and he's a Swatini EFF leader. Guys, EFF is not here to play, guys. I don't know if you understand. EFF is not here to play. So amidst all of these exodus and stuff like that, you would really like to know what's happening with the EFF in these other regions, right? Yeah, man, let's really look into that. Let's hear what this lady here from Eswatini is saying about the EFF.
EFF, we joined the ideology of EFF. It's true that the deputy president, the former deputy president Floyd, is one who with the most brains behind the EFF, since he was the co-founder of the organization. But that doesn't change anything at all. We only follow the ideology that we are following this EFF, not him, but we know how much value he holds to the EFF. And we are so glad that wherever he's going in the MK, he will instill that same value, because all he wants is to govern, is good governance. All we see in him is good governance. And we know that even in MK, he will do the same. And South Africa will never be the same. But as for EFF, we still gonna fight and do exactly as we did, even if he's no longer there. I know that some will follow him to MK, but still we will remain loyal to the EFF because we joined EFF, not an individual.
Yeah.
Where my sister there does say that. So yes, guys, you've seen that. She's saying nothing has changed with them. There is nothing they are going to do. They are not going to run away from the EFF, even if Shivambu left. They know Shivambu is a good leader, but where he's going is still going to do the same. They are wishing him well. See how chill EFF people are as the people are crossing the floor, man. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to call them names. You just let them go. It's amazing, guys. We never know what's happening. What's cooking with EFF? All right, let's move now. We've seen that really we attested to that the expansion of EFF across Africa, which is interesting. That Africa now has extended its influence beyond South Africa. It has gone to branches to initiating branches in countries including Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and even smaller representations, Eswatini and Liberia. Among those, Namibian economic freedom fighters has been managed to some waves in national politics, and this expansion underscores the EFF Pan-African vision, all right, with Malema positioning the party as a liberator across all African borders. So we kind of like saying EFF is a borderless. EFF is a borderless, if you understand what I mean by borderless. It's a borderless political party, my guy. EFF is not here to only rule South Africa, but EFF is here to take over the whole Africa. So, but then again, nonetheless, we've been talking about this. There's a current tension that is happening and allegations about why are these guys moving from EFF to the MK. So these recent developments, they hint at some challenges that the EFF is having. You know, within the EFF, there's growing criticism that the party has lost sight of its founding mission. Some members feel like the EFF is now more focused on power and connections, than on grassroots change, adding to complexity, the rise of another political group, which is the MKP, has led to some EFF leaders defecting. So I wonder what's happening here. But there's a twist here, right? Because many high-ranking EFF members have been seen joining the MKP, right? And even landing in senior roles, guys. They don't just go there, right? They also become someone, something. They become something. That's South African language. You can understand me if you're from South Africa. They become something. It's stirring up questions, guys. Why are these guys going there? Are the behind the scene meetings having something that we don't know? Because Malema had some secret meetings with the likes of the influential figures in the MK, the likes of Jacob Zuma. And then shortly after he had a meeting with Jacob Zuma, MKP was formed, guys. And then he went to go and visit Judge Kloppe when he was suspended, or his judge, he was impeached. He visited him, he went there. And then after that, later on, Judge Kloppe joined MK Party. So all of this, I don't know if you are aware of the politics in South Africa, or the political chess, or the politic chess. I don't know how it is called, but it's a game, guys, that they play, because the EFF leadership is somehow involved with the MK's growth and the movement within its movement within the political cycles. Both was there in the inception of or the registration, through the registration. He even helped them register, right? Others will be talking about maybe they are losing connections, or they are focusing on funders the most. But you must know that EFF, just like any other parties, man, when it comes to funding, man, I tell you, I kid you not, it moves just like other parties. So party funding remains a contentious topic, guys. We can't say EFF was founded on the basis of corruption, or people who donated into EFF were corrupt. Tell me now, if everyone who is voting or a member of EFF, right, is monthly paying money towards the EFF, and mind you, in this country, a lot of people are not working. Let's say some of these people, even the DA members, as they will be donating towards their party. Probably these people didn't get this money in good terms. Probably they got it through corrupt ways, but they use it to do what? To donate, to assist these political parties. Therefore, I wouldn't really say talk about the funding of EFF as if it's something different than to other parties. You understand? So yeah, man. With that being said, I gotta close this. All in all, EFF has come a long way since 2013. As one of the powerful political parties, it has also played a big role in leaving its footprint in Africa as a whole, trying to unite Africa and put down all the borders, but also towards the elections of South Africa. EFF didn't have much involvement in these other countries because it was focused on domestic affairs. And that also brought about some shake and some weaknesses in these branches, because it also lost some support as well in these African branches. But nonetheless, keep on coming back. Please do like, please do share. Please do like, please do share, please do comment, subscribe for more and stuff like that. Yes, man, let's fix that comment right there. We saw the comment at the end of the show that is written incorrectly. It's just that the other end they didn't want to come with the other words, but then there we are. There we go. All right. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's been a while. It's been good with I don't know. Yeah, guys, I don't know what's happening with me right now. This has been wonderful.